Good afternoon friends, I'm Jackie. Welcome to Gone Potty Gardening. Well, I've popped out this morning. You probably can't see from here, but it's such a blustery, stormy day that I wanted to get a few things done today. So, yep, like I say, I popped out. I wanted to get a few of the potting trays to plant the onions on in. So that's what I've bought. I had to get a bit of shopping, so I picked these up while I was out. And I do have other containers like this, but I've used them for the for the onion sets. So yeah, I needed some more. Now for me, growing onions from seed is a revelation, to be honest, because I've tried it before and it didn't work, but this time I've had a bit of success. Although there's a couple of things that I think that I could have done to make it even better. I think I could have stood the seedlings in a tray of water so they suck the water up themselves and kept them on heat and light all the time instead of taking them off the heat, putting them on the window, you know, the variations in temperature. So next time I do them, I'll keep them under the light, under the heat, won't move them, and I'll put them in some water so they can, you know, take their own amount of water that they need. Because by me watering them, I could be over watering them, and I think I've got some seeds that have dampened off, in other words, you know, died, but I've still got some good ones. So I popped out, like I say, got the trays, I've got a bag of potting compost, and I'm gonna pot some of them on. Let me just show you what I've got. Okay, so we've got some Lisbon onions, which are spring onions. So there's a few there. The next tray, what are they? Ailsa Craig onions. Now they've turned out quite well, look. I think there's quite a few onions there, isn't there? So that's the white onions. These are leeks, but you can see there's a few there that have gone over, but there's quite a few that are good. So I should chop them off a bit and transplant them as well. And these ones are Brunswick, which are the red onions, and there's quite a few there. Quite pleased with them. Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm really pleased with that. So for me to grow seeds like that, I'm really chuffed. I can't tell you, it's really good. But I also have got some onion bulb sets that I've already, you probably noticed before, I've planted in little cells in the polytunnel to give them a good start. And yeah, so plenty of onions, I reckon. But I'm going to pop these on now into the little cells. And what I should do is keep them in there for, what are we now, March, beginning of March really, probably till April, and put them out in April with a little fleecy cover over the top. Now, I've been doing a little bit of research on the onion seeds and that, and I'm going to go with Charles Dowding's method of multi-sowing the onions. So I'll probably do 4 in a pot, and then from the pots that I plant them in now, I should transplant straight into the ground. Woo! Now, because I planted mine in these little tubs and not in individual cells, I am disturbing the roots a little bit by potting them on, whereas Charles Dowding plants 4 or 5 seeds per cell, so it is a bit different, so I'll remember that for next time. But yeah, I'm going to get these all transplanted, 4 in a pot. So I picked up a little 40 litre multi-purpose potting compost so that I could bring it in my room actually, because yesterday I was in the polytunnel doing a bit of potting on and it was cold, my feet were freezing. So today I'm going to just make use of the time in here really. Yeah, so I picked up some of these, look. Quite a decent size, a nice little depth on them. And yeah, they'll be the ones that I'll be potting straight, taking them out of there, putting straight into the garden under the fleece. How many of these did I get? 4. So there's 20 in each, 20 containers in each one. I think I've got about 5. So I'll always keep these now just for onions every year, and then I know I've got plenty of containers, you know. I'll just keep these specifically for that. It's actually quite nice sitting in here because I can see right across the field out there and the sun is coming in, so it's nice and warm and it's nice and peaceful. So I'm just going to pot them on. Probably hear my chair squeaking around about. I'm just going to take the bits of wrapping off of this. And if you look through there, you can see some of the holes are not poked through, so I'm going to have to quickly do that. So there we are. I've filled this with the potting compost and I've firmed it quite well down so it's quite compact. I don't want it all loose and there being a lack of soil in there. So yeah, basically now I'm going to transplant about 4 of these using this little pencil. Poke a hole right down to the bottom. And transplant probably about 4 of each in there. So yeah, I'm going to tease out these little onions with the pencil. And you can see they've got nice little roots on. Yeah, I'm going to do 4 in each one. Because these little containers that these are in dry out quite quickly, you know. So I want them out of here anyway. But how exciting. Get your own onions in. People say that if you grow onions from seed, make sure I'm going to get these right to the bottom, the roots. Yeah, if you grow onions from seed, you have a much bigger choice of varieties. So now that I know that I can grow them from seed, I shall be doing it every year. I actually got caught out with the onions this year because I ordered online from Quick Crop and waited for the autumn onions, and they didn't turn up, so I had to get in touch with them. Yeah, look at those. So I had to get in touch with them to find out what had happened. And they said that the delivery they got was really bad quality, so they couldn't give people their onions. So yeah, that was a bit miffed about that, really. So I'm going to finish potting these on, and I'll bring you back when I've finished that variety. So I've potted the Ailsa Craig onions in these pots in multi-sowing, 4 in each pot, labelled them up. Now I would have only put 1 label in that pot if they were all going to be filled with that variety, but because they're not, I've come unstuck so many times that I've labelled them this time, because the spare ones at the front here are filled with the red onions. So potentially, yeah, there's 11 cells there with 4 in each, so potentially 44 onions in that little bit. So I'm going to carry on now with these red onions. I mean, it does take time, but what a lovely thought, though, that you'll be eating your own onions soon. These seeds were sown on the 26th of January, and today is the 9th of March. So I'm going to keep them indoors, probably under the light, just to let them recover from being transplanted, give them a good water, and then when I put them out in the polytunnel, I shall put them on a tray and let them take up their own amount of water. Like I say though, isn't it exciting when you've grown your own vegetables, especially from seed, and you get to taste the lovely flavour from growing your own? I can't wait to see them in them beds, to see how they come on, you know. Wow, you get all that food from one little tiny seed. I hope they do well. I mean, I could lose a couple to the cold, who knows. But, you know, gardening's all an experiment, isn't it? And, yeah, so some people might already have their onions in. Some people plant them in the autumn. Well, like I say, I couldn't get hold of them in the autumn, and so that's why mine are a bit later. I did buy some bulbs in the spring and started some seeds to see how they go. But yeah, so you'll have to see how they turn out. Hopefully they do well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Why not come and join me on Facebook or Instagram? The link is in the description.